Hello and welcome to Strip Threads. I am Michael, your host. We are here in lovely Monroe, Washington. Um, Due to the COVID problem, we are more or less stuck here probably through the winter. Um, while the crickets are in Kansas, everything else is here in Washington. So this episode is going to be about my 81 Ford Courier that has been with me for years. Um, this truck I bought in June of 2007. The farmer that had it before me, he bought it at a yard sale. It wasn't running. It needed an ignition module. So we got it running. It was completely rusted out. Like you could sit in the seat and put your foot on the front tire, rusted out. The doors, you open them up, you could flip them open like Lambo doors. They were so gone. I had a clutch in the shed. I limped it home, and within an hour I had the clutch replaced and the carb fixed, and I drove to work the next day and got soaking wet because it had rained the night before, and there weren't any floors in it. He had put this 1-inch thick foam rubber like floor cushion on it, and of course that didn't stop everything. I had an old 61 Dodge trunk lid. I used it to kind of hack together some floorboards real quick. And I drove it like that for years, or for a year, actually. Uh, about a month later, I found a 77 Mazda B1800 and bought the hood, grill, and upper valance off of it. The bumper wasn't usable, neither was the lower valance. So I converted it to the Mazda look, the four headlight Mazda look. I think I used 59 Ford F100 headlight buckets to make it work, which actually fit pretty well, although the angle wasn't quite right. Those are like the first pictures I actually took, was right when I got done doing that conversion. It was still stock height. It was still riding on my 74 wheels, or 77 wheels, sorry. So I drove it like that until probably January, February of 2008. And I had gone to work for a tow company on the weekends, and the guy had a couple B2000s that were just junk. They were abandoned, towed in. Both had blown head gaskets. There was an 82 Sport, Sundowner Sport, and an 84 B2000, just stripped down, fleet, base model, radio delete truck. I mean, it had rubber plugs where the antenna was supposed to go. I ended up using the cab off the 82. Being that it was a sport, it was a factory bucket seat truck with console. It had tachometer, nicer interior. But it was ragged. God, it was ragged. That truck didn't have much rust on it, but it had been crashed when it was probably a couple years old and totaled, and they didn't fix it very well. But the 84 was about almost as rusty as the Courier cab was, but it had a lot less miles on it, and it had a lot better parts. So I got the carpeting and the seat and all the bench seat and all those parts out of there, because I frankly hated the bucket seats that came with it. So I converted it back to the bench seat. I got rid of I had to take out the brackets and weld in the bench seat brackets and all that. I kept the tachometer cluster though, because those are kind of rare. And I drove it like that for years. I tried to do a little better body work on it, but the metal was so stretched and torn, and there just wasn't any fixing it. All the welds, the lap welds and the pinch welds, had been pulled either in the crash or the repairs, and it leaked. It leaked water. You drive through a puddle and the floor's wet. I did what I could, but not all the bathtub caulk in the world could fix that. And so, I drove it for years. I put 100,000 miles on it, 90,000 miles on it. It moved us out here. It's been between San Diego and Oklahoma 4 times. Hauled my car hauler back. It's probably 4,500 pounds on the back of it. We're doing probably 25, 30 up through the pass between Flagstaff and Phoenix, but it did it. I've hauled cricket number 2 from San Diego to Oklahoma, plateaued it. No problems there, and I did a lot better. Actually, I was doing like 40 up the pass. Um, I had a '59 Dodge Coronet that I bought. I borrowed a flat deck trailer. I probably had 6,500 pounds on the bumper hitch, and it pulled it too. I mean, I was only going 45, chasing a thunderstorm, so I had to dodge power lines and trees that were down on the highway. It always did everything I ever asked of it, and it was just kind of one of those things where, you know, you're either going to drive it into the ground and scrap it when it's just junk, or I'm going to fix it up. And it's like, you know, this truck deserves to be fixed up. It served me well. This engine has about 300,000 miles on it. Smokes like hell. It uses a lot of oil, and it always has. So it's just been like, oh, I'm going to wait till it blows up, and then I've got this turbo 2.3 from a Thunderbird that's going to go into it. Well, the engine's never died. You know, it's still in it. Even through this build, I got a slightly better engine just so I could keep it going. You know, slap it in there, keep it going, and then eventually I'll do the 2.3 conversion, because there's a lot more involved in that. It turned out the new engine I got was junk. So I just put the old engine back in it because I knew it ran good. So, you know, I got an 83 Mazda cab shortly after we moved here. It had a lot more damage on it than I thought, a lot more rust in it than I thought. And I didn't get around to working on it, so by the time I finally was, it had just completely rusted out sitting on the ground. So I got this 82 Courier cab, which is what I'd rather do anyway. I wanted to go back to the Courier dash and the Courier parts, and, you know, all the subtle little differences between the B2K and the Couriers. And so I was able to use that 83 cab for patch panels, because this cab had a lot more rust on it than I thought too, but it was all fixable. And, you know, I'm not a body man, I'm not a welder, I'm not, you know, any of these things. I just kind of flub my way through them. And everything's decent. You know, it looks good. It doesn't look great for a 50-footer, you know, whatever. But it's a work truck, so it's probably going to get scratched. It's probably going to get dinged, even though I'm going to hate it when it does. But, you know, the truck served me well. I want to give back to it. So this is my 81 Ford Courier, otherwise known as Whitey. You know, when I had to think of this truck's personality, all I can think of is like some old fisherman, white-haired, white-bearded fisherman with one eye and, you know, a pipe sticking out or a cigar sticking out. And so that's why I call the truck Whitey. Plus, so yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what we got here. So I haven't gotten to the interior yet. One thing I did want to do is do away with the crappy vinyl headliner these things have. And I wanted to go back to the old, you know, 60s, early 70s F100 look and go with this metal here instead of the vinyl. I wish I could have cleaned up those spot welds first, but I think it looks all right, other than I got a plug for that hole, those holes. This console is out of an 88 Fifth Avenue, Chrysler Fifth Avenue. It gives me compass and temperature. I've got another temperature sensor, another ambient temperature sensor. I'm going to mount it underneath the dashboard and put a toggle switch in there. That way I can actually switch between outside and inside air. Dash pad was cracked. They're all cracked. And they get really warped here around where the speaker grill was. You can look back here and see this bulge. That's from that warpage. Dash caps are about $100, $120. And they look okay, except that you have to cut all that warpage out, otherwise they look like hell. And they don't generally hold up very long. I don't mind the carpet. I think it looks alright. It kind of absorbs noise. I think it doesn't reflect as much heat. You got one little crack there that you can still see, but who cares? It's a work truck, remember? These doors, through 88, had these old 60 style pull handles on them. Yeah, so you've got, I was able to convert the 84 doors over to the early style handles, plus the square shafts here, so I can run the early handles. They were virgin doors. I had to cut the speaker holes out, which I kind of had mixed feelings on. I got handy dandy new EPDM window seals. Are still a little thick. I think they will lay down here after a while. The 82 went from having the ignition in the dash to the ignition on the column. I had to convert that over. Let's see. I've got cruise control. I've got factory Mazda choke. Had to use the 82 parking brake sector. Let's see. These stripes I just got done doing, but I had a little issue with the tape, and so they came out a little rough, and then they pulled off some of the stripe. I need to go back and touch it up a little bit. Thank you, kitty. Yeah, you, with all your footprints. Let's see, those are some Lucio vintage fog lights, like a JCPenney, just like a cheap one back in the day. Nowadays we get all our cheap stuff from Japan, or China, I guess. Back then they got them from Japan. Let's see, we got the Ford style cab lights. I got the front half of the truck. Nice. Now I got to work on the back half. I need to repaint the flatbed again. Paint the back half of the frame. Back bumper. Got my Ford taillights. Let's see what's underneath the hood. Got my smoothie wheels. These are 15/8s. These are 15/6s. Get the hubcaps off because I need to change the calipers. Thanks to the bleeders breaking off on me. Let's see. Got some texture in the paint there that I'm not real happy with. Alrighty. Got my air cleaner painted in the Ford colors. I was just going to paint it either black or gold, but I thought there was too much monochrome already going on there. Plus my oil separators are already blue, and the pulleys are already factory blue. So I went with that. AC lines, I hate using clamps, but eventually I'll go back and redo them. I'll crimp them. I still need to vacuum and charge it. I'm going to actually charge it with 12, I think. See if it doesn't work better. This is some of that rubber flooring that the farmer used. This metal here is actually what held the vent tube in from the B2K. I just painted it, and it actually works pretty well and hides a big ugly hole that the hoses pass through. Let's see. Take this off here. Get it out of here. Get out of there. Little tribute to Derek, Vice Grip Garage there. That is my cruise control module, Micromotor. I bedlined the cowl, firewall, and then I did the whole inside, same thing, cowl, firewall, toe board, floorboard, and up the B pillars. It didn't come out quite like I expected. Now, the stuff was really old and I had to thin it a lot. So maybe that's the problem, but I was really expecting it to be a lot thicker than this. Like, there's a hole here, and so I used these little round stickers, just stuck it up underneath there, and I figured, it would just cover it. I mean, there's 2 holes here from screws that are just wide open right now. As you can see, it really didn't. I didn't bother to seam seal this because I thought the bed liner would do it, and it didn't. So what I'm going to do, mask this off, and I'm going to use rocker chip guard and put a really heavy coat of that over the top of all this to kind of seal it, and hopefully that'll do it, because I'm not going to redo the whole damn job again, and I don't want any more leaks. Let's see. Take you off. Okay. Yeah, well, we got some leaks. Oh well. So yeah, these are your Taiwanese fenders. They don't fit real well, but they're better than rusty ones, or dented ones, or bondoed ones. This, I believe, is an AMC antenna, but it kind of works. It was what was in the other truck originally, the 81 truck originally. These are the B1800, B2000 buckets instead of the Ford ones. I had the AC actually took up all this space in here, so I had to cut off the grill mounts to clear it before. Now I've got this new parallel flow condenser mounted here. I need to find another grill. This one's actually got a crack in it anyway, but I still need to find one. And it's dirty. I gotta clean it all. Still a few little things to do. I gotta run the line and the squirter back from my windshield washer. Clean everything. I need to wash everything. I gotta put the breather hose back on. I gotta run the clamps for the brake booster and all kinds of little things. I gotta find one of these for the prop rod. Get a better bumper. That one's pretty rough. Oh, I gotta wash it. Wash it with all that dirt. I gotta get on the interior. Let's see, one of today's big jobs is to get that plate made for the inside there. So I can run the heater control cables so they're not in my way. Nasty workbench here. Oh, where is that thing? So these things here. This one I think is, this one's actually a virgin one. It's never been chopped up for a different radio. But I'm going to cut all this out on the one for my truck. These will get cut out too. So the heater control cables will go in here, and I'll have my wife print me off, defroster, and then pull heat, pull defrost or whatever, push for the right one. But, like I was saying, I need to make a plate that covers the hole that this will just go right up against, which I think the factory ones probably had, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, it'll give me the strength, so when I mount the cables, they'll be sitting on that rather than this. I'll move that damn chair. Okay. So I think that's about it for now. I go back to work Friday. This is Sunday, so one of the jobs to do, I want to scuff and tape all this off here and then all along the bottom here and do the chip guard. I need to get the cowl, same thing. I'll use the rough chip guard on that. Door panels, I need to go through them. I probably need to recoat them. They were black originally. I painted them the beige. They've held up very well except where the window winders are. I think they've worn through the paint, so I need to go back and probably clean them, put another coat on them. And then the bottoms where the speakers were is really rough, so I need to go through and I'm just going to carpet, blue carpet right to the bottom part of it, across the bottom, and I'll just cut a smaller hole out of the carpet, and the speakers will actually screw to the top of the carpet, kind of clamping the panel in place. The other thing I need to do there is the kick panels. The kick panels are rough, and they were blue, and then they've been spray painted black, I think, and they're not warped real bad or anything, so I'm going to clean them up and glue the carpet right to the top of them. This is the carpet. Since I've got two cabs, I'm going to cut the roof off, and that way, instead of scratching up, tearing up the one that I'm going to be running, I'll be able to just use it as a mock-up to get the headliner built, because it's going to sit right on this lip right here and screw to this lip. And there's another screw in the middle there that I welded before I painted everything. I need to recoat the sun visors. They still look pretty good, but my son decided to stick a greasy piston on top of one of them, so I think by the time I get it all cleaned up, it'll need to be recoated. This is the one that's going in the truck. It'll be all painted up nice and everything, but like I was saying, this is going to get cut out and made work. So I need to get started on that. All this needs to get cleaned up and gone. It needs to get hauled around back. I need to put that cab up on the back here after this is cleaned out. And I'm just going to fill it full of scrap metal and take it down to the scrap place. These sheds need to be cleaned out so that way I got a place to park in the wintertime. This is actually where Christy parks her Jeep. I've been taking it up all summer, so yep, got a lot of work to do this week. So I'm going to get busy on this so it can get put to the side. I can start driving it to work because this guy is a thirsty pig, and there will be an episode on that one some other time. Alrighty, away we go. You guys take care.